Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the SZR race series, race number 6 in this 12 race series. After this race, we will be halfway done with the SZR series, and the series has seriously heated up out on course already today. It looks like they're doing today according to ZwiftPower.com, it says volcano flat forward 3 laps off of the ramp. So the riders are, it looks like, heading on over toward the fountain section out on course here with I do up toward the front Mr. Kim Little out of the UK right along. Wow, it's just a gigantic group actually up toward Melting Hollow is here as well. We do have Comrade, then Stockton making this attack actually, and this is the first time that I've actually had the pleasure of casting this direction of the course. So it's going to be really interesting actually to see how things do play out. We do see a Coop here from Race WBR making his way to the front of the course. One of the only sections of the course where you can really make any kind of an attack to try and get away from the rest of the group. Looks like a few seconds are being gained as they come past one of the best spots for viewing that, which is that fountain section. Does look like the WBR. I did see this post yesterday. Let's see if we can get a good shot of this new kit, as there's the new WBR kit, World Bicycle Relief. They've got the buffalo on the back there for the buffalo bike. Absolutely awesome to see their new kit in game. They've got the Ingama in there as well. It looks like WBR right across the legs there. Very nice looking new kit that hit the game as of recently. And it looks like Coop trying to make good use of that kit with him and Nauset, Kim Little, and Philip Diner currently off the front. The SZR series, let's get a quick little rundown of the race information, the rules, as these riders are about to take, I believe, a right-hand turn over onto, the flat section of the course into Ocean Boulevard here in just a moment. Turn on the fans. Fill the bottles, grab a towel, it's race time, the race director has said. Edit your screen name for SZR and your categories. You can see on the right-hand side of the course, everybody who is in the A's right now does have A in their name in brackets with SZR next to their name. And then power-ups are disabled in this event module, so they are not even available. Doesn't matter how many start banners, KOM banners, whatever you go through, you're not going to get a power-up. There are no TT bikes either. Power Meter and Smart Trainer winners can take category wins. Zero Power racers will be evaluated after the race. Heart monitors are compulsory for A and B riders. The usual watts per kilogram, 4.0 higher, A's 3.2 to 4.0, B's, C's are 2.5 to 3.2, and D's are 2.5 and under. And there is going to be a women's category. There is a women's category as well. The points distribution you can go check out. It is 25 points to the winner all the way down to 1 point for 10th place. There will be team points as well. Speaking of the points in the series, Mr. Philip Diner, who is in this lead group right now, did try getting away, it looks like, and we're looking at his avatar list on the right-hand side. We're following him right now, and Diner here, as we can see, is the current leader overall amongst everyone in the entire series, as well as in the A category. Following him closely is Le Monstre out of Great Britain, but I don't actually have eyes on the Monstre, I do not believe, in the race today. I'm going to click here. I do see Mr. Happy Marita here. Coming out of the UK. Casey Shum is in there as well, and we actually do have the Team Experimental rider on Zwift on board today. I believe we can get some live action shots from Mr. Casey. He's also doing a run, I believe, later today on Zwift Community Live, so make sure to check that out. I think it's going to be about 5 p.m. CST that he'll be showing everybody how running works out on Zwift. But we do have some Zwift on board going on today with it is good, solid sprint from him again. We'll have to see, because a lot of really great results actually from the Zwift on board and racer focuses actually lately. So there are some heavy hitters though in here today. We'll see if he can hang on through the top of, well, there are no climbs cars on the flat course, not too many, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out for the rider there. So now we do have Kim Little, it looks like, making his way to the front. One of the favorites, I would think, today to maybe challenge Mr. Diner, who's been almost undefeated out on the SZR Racing Series so far. Le Monstre then, second place, so was Phil Diner, Le Monstre, and then Joachim Schorgen for third place. Adrian Timmis had moved up the results, actually. I'm not seeing Mr. Timmis right now in the race currently. According to what I can see here, I'm not seeing Mr. Adrian Timmis showing up today. Maybe taking a rest week, as I know that he had been hammering on this series to grab onto that fourth place for quite a while so far. Just clicking through real quick here to see if we can spot him at all. Looking through here, I think I have to close a few things. We've got some serious craziness going on here with the CPU at this point. I'm just going to make sure that everything is coming through to you boys and girls just fine on your end. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are all good here. Okay, and so now looking through here, we do see that it is in the B category race, then, is what we want to talk about next, especially when it comes to the series. Kokloft here now, I think he has been doing extremely well in this series, a name that I'm definitely familiar with after a few of the races here. Mendelssohn here as well, looking over his shoulder, you can see hanging Pack, one of the B racers who has made it into this lead group. Moving through, is there any other Bs in here? We do have Ulysses coming out of Spain as well. So we'll have to see and look through here and see where the rest of these riders do stand when it comes to the series. Looking through here, according to ZwiftPower.com, it is Mark Kokloff, currently sitting with 62 points, first place overall with only 3 races actually, so he has been dominating the series. Jonathan Blomqvist then with 51 points right now, 5 races in, currently sitting in second place with Kimolini on, it looks like, in third place. I'm not sure that I see Kimolini. Nawson is in there as well, and not seeing him either, though, in the top 5 right now. We'll have to wait for things to kind of break apart a little bit more to try and get eyes on where all of these riders do stand. Clive here from the BRT team, actually with the win yesterday in the KISS race. So Cliven with a back-to-back race here coming from that Bolt Racing team. So definitely want to watch out for that rider today. Looks to be on fire right now, so definitely one to be watching out for. In the C category race, Haken Gratz, 89 points, 5 races total, has done all of them. Has not made this league group, as this is a crazy league group. Nawson is in here, excuse me. I am seeing here from FSK here, hammering at 8 watts per kilogram. I believe, oh no, Nawson was not a part of that. We were looking for Chiolini and Sebastian Sturfalk, excuse me. So it looks like here now, Nawson, though, hammering away 7.1 watts per kilogram, trying to get away from Shum, it looks like, and Coop. About a 1 second gap being created to Kim Little at this point. Ransgaard then, from the BRT team, following very closely there with Diner. Then Storgen is here as well, and I believe this is one to be watching out for, as he is currently sitting in 3rd place overall, and if he gets a good result today with this lead group, I believe he is going to be able to pull away from the Monstre a little bit in the overall for the race. We'll have to see how that plays out throughout the race today. We're just going to have a little bit of double Nathan for a second. We've got a little bit of lag there, trying to kill a few different things. I think my computer could have used a restart maybe prior to getting going here, but we will suffice. I think we'll make it work, boys and girls. We're just going to close everything that is not necessarily whatsoever here as we work our way through. We've got double Casey Shums here. Maybe that has something to do with it. All right, we are going to bring in the Zwift. We're going to bring in the social. VMix Social. If you guys are interested in interacting with the stream at all, you can go ahead and tweet at Z Community Live. We'll go ahead and give you guys an example of that in just a minute here. But if you tweet at Zwift Community Live, we will be able to bring your interactions directly into the broadcast here, and I'll be able to see your comments as well in just one moment over at the face of the book. And it looks like we do have, okay, so here's an example for you guys. When it comes to the social media interaction, this is actually a great little graphic here. Casey Shum, Team Experimental today, February 15th at 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. PST. Run with Casey Shum, Volcano Circuits, actually. So at Casey Shum, at Team Experimental, at Z Community Live. That last one in there that you can see at the end of it, if you throw that in there, you can get anything you would like featured here, as long as it's related and friendly. It'll get featured here with us. We are seeing Casey Shum actually also throwing a little bit more into the broadcast, saying "Go, go!" Maybe cheering himself on, as well as Vince Talavera, Thomas C. here, beginning saying those guys are hammering. They definitely are. And we are seeing it is about 12 seconds now. The group has split, as we do see the Melting Man here on the back coming from the KRT team. 1 lap down. It is 3 laps today. 3 laps out on the Volcano Flat on Watopia. And looks like the Melting Man just barely able to hang on, but there is a split here. And Agras from the SZR team coming out of Sweden with Shorgen sitting in 3rd place in the A's. If he cannot let this go right now, he lets this go right now, and it might be game over. And I think at the front they do realize what is happening, as Diner and the others are stringing it out, not allowing things to get back together. As we look through the tunnel here, there is a gap right there to that Bikes and Beers kit, with Schroer out of Germany here trying to close it down. Henderson right on that wheel, right home, and it looks like Shorgen was able to get back on terms with Lecoq. It looks like a little ways back though. This group behind better get on terms, and those boys up front, if they keep on turning the screws, these boys are going to pop eventually. As you see these gaps continually starting to form, and these guys do not look, some of these boys do not look too interested right now, or at least able to close the gaps down to that front running group, as they're hitting about 50 kilometers per hour, absolutely flying through this flat section of the course. Kim Little up here at the front from Team Experimental, keeping things fairly steady, 5.4 watts per kilogram or so. The pace though right now has been absolutely crazy, and this is actually being the first time spectating this course. It makes it really interesting watching the places at which they're able to break things apart out here. I did do the KISS 100 race recently, but that race tended toward people not wanting to go off the front too much. Being off the front for too long without a large group to work with, or at least a few other riders to work with, can be very daunting over long periods of time. But being only 3 laps and probably only about a 45-minute race or so, these riders are going to be trying to turn the screws as many times as they possibly can. We do see Rungberg here from Sweden trying to make a little bit of a dash here, not really going much of anywhere just yet. They're going to climb up and out of the volcano here, and I believe exit over toward that fountain here in just a moment. Diner here, 4.3 watts per kilogram on a little downhill. There is no gap. It's all back together, except for it was Ulysses here that we were talking about a little earlier, and a Gras from the Swedish team, who have suffered from those attacks. The Melting Man just getting back on terms as they make their way downhill out of the volcano back toward the fountain section. And we are getting a little comment here from Dave Bibby. Good to have you, Dave Bibby, in the Facebook chat there. Kim always up there. Yep, Little is always. Him and actually Hop and Marita here that we're looking at are real-life teammates. And hammering away, it looks like Casey Shum also from Team Experimental. So a lot of Team Experimental boys. But Hoppy Marita does not ride for Experimental, which is interesting. They both ride for the Merida Factory team in real life, Kim and Hoppy, but in game it's just Team Experimental for Kim, but not for Mr. Hoppy. But with Shum, Little, S. Gray in here also from Team Experimental. If we can get eyes on him, clicking around here a little bit, looking around over his shoulder there, another rider coming from Team Experimental. Who else is in here from Experimental? I think Experimental's got some serious numbers today. I see at least 3. I thought I saw maybe one more rider from Team Experimental. We'll have to wait and see if it does update. And Luke Ware is saying pace is hotter than Zwift lava bombs, with the WAP bombs there, Luke says, right on. And there's definitely some serious well, it's calmed down a little bit now, but there's definitely some serious WAP bombs going down there just a few moments ago. We do have the cog here up toward the front for that KISS Racing team. And, you know, this might actually end up a little different than we've seen in the last few races. Having all that experimental firepower and showing up to the race here. Also having Coop in the race here, I believe, is going to change things up a little bit. You know, Diner is a super strong rider, and when he goes, not many can follow, but there might be a little upset today. We'll have to see. He has won almost every race that he's competed in, though, for the SZR series. We were talking about the current standings in the series. Looking through here, as we saw, Philip, Diner, Lamonstrate, and Sturgeon were the top 3. Ronsgaard is in the race here today as well, and he's holding down a solid spot. Coop is there for top 10, so those two are going to probably better their results, actually, for their current standings out on course here. Coop actually only has 1 race, but with a solid 18 points. I think he took a 4th place or so for the 1 race that he did do. So he's going to start working his way up in the series. Looking through the C category, we're talking about Hockengrass Patrick Harvey for 2nd currently, and Christopher Selstead currently sitting in 3rd place for the series. In the D category, Gene Fitch actually is taking over 1st place with 2 races, followed by Mikkel Johnson and then George Lincho for the top 3. In the women's category, Michelle East from the BRT team, 4 races, total 56 points currently. Agneta Lundblad, followed by Victoria Wignall. That is your top 3 amongst the women so far in these races. Solid job to all of them. Looking now back a little bit to the gaps that are being formed. We do see Henderson here just trying to hang on, 3.4 watts per kilogram. The cock now maybe getting dropped off. Can he hang on, as it looks like Henderson let a little of a gap go, then had to bump it into 8 watts per kilogram. Now it's going to be up to the Canadian to close it down, and that's always the risk of sitting at the back of the pack, boys and girls. If somebody lets a gap go and then can kick to close it down, but does not do so, it can be curtains. And it looks like that climb out toward the fountain completely shattered this group just now. Clive in the winner yesterday, trying to stay on terms. Looks like Little and Diner and the rest of these boys are really starting to bump the speed up toward this section into Ocean Boulevard. They're going to come down this other side with 3 Team Experimentals going off the front now. Diner here following really closely on that pink bike, that pink Tron bike. Now the Melting Man almost back on terms. Gray is here. 3 Team Experimental boys all in the break. That is going to be something to watch out for. Now 186 beats per minute coming from Cliven, who just barely gets back on terms to the Melting Man's wheel, but the Melting Man looks to be fading backwards and not continue to go forward now. Shum looks like chilled out a little bit, 182 beats per minute. We can see just what 182 beats per minute looks like, and it doesn't look too uncomfortable just yet. 329 watts, 86 RPMs, 181 beats per minute. Absolutely hammering right now. Looks fairly, I mean, suffering a little, but maybe fairly comfortable. And a little bit of a smile there coming from Mr. Casey, and then away from him. Thanks, Casey. Good to see you hammering away, making that lead group with Team Experimental. Kim Little now 4.1 watts per kilogram, looking good there as well with S. Gray. So those 3 there in the lead. It looks like the only ones with numbers now at this point in BRT. Actually, Komarek there coming from BRT with that Power Tap kit. You can always recognize the BRT team. They're using that Power Tap kit as their go-to. Cliven is there as well, out of Norway from the BRT. Who else is there as far as the teams go? I see 1 KISS Racing team, 1 KRT, and I think that is still the Melting Man, Brendan Melting Tallow. Yep, in there. It looks like Team Experimental making their way to the back here. And then, maybe the Swedish team in the Training Peaks kit. I believe that is what's going on with the 2 Training Peaks kits there as well. So that's the team makeup right now. FXK is also represented, but not in numbers. So it's going to be difficult maybe to pull anything off. For about a lap and a half to go today. And Hoppy Marita has not made that lead group with his real life teammate, Mr. Kim Little. So been dropped off, and no love lost maybe with Team Experimental working over the real life teammates now at this point. Moving forward now, we do see it looks like Coop now, Kim Little, 4.0 watts per kilogram. They come past the windmills out on course. We do see join, it looks like. Thanks a lot to Zwift Community Live for throwing out the this is actually a great little shot here, throwing out the pic there saying join at Go Zwift Racing Community now for SZR Race Series over at our shot. Nice shot there. Thanks a lot to Zwift Community Live for the highlight there over on Twitter. Kim Little now 4.3 watts per kilogram at the front. Kamarak now BRT. We're going to go ahead and move backwards and just catch what we can as we move backwards here and see what's going on within the B race. Kolgoff here now. There's always a race within the race when it comes to the races that start as one cat. So there are 4 categories in the race today, but they all start together. They are not separated into 4 different events that leave all separated by 1 minute or 2 minutes or so, which can be much easier actually for a broadcaster to cover. It can be a lot easier for everybody to kind of understand where they're at in the race, and as far as for those who are spectating, it makes things a little bit easier. So looking through here, it looks like this is the only rider who has made this front group, and I think Koklov has gotten pretty good at making the break and then sitting in amongst these riders actually. Runberg now here, it looks like the last one in this group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 riders, and I don't believe we're going to be able to get eyes on anybody else any way further back as the riders nearby is not, or group riders nearby is not going to populate for us just now. So keep eyes on the front. It looks like at the front of this race, we can talk a little bit about what these riders have been doing over the last week or so for their racing, as we do have live results from ZwiftPower.com, I believe. And it looks like Legistrand with an 89th, a 4th, and a 14th, kind of all over the place actually. For that Swedish rider, it looks like in that, it looks like 50 plus category actually as well. Max heart rate 195. Is Legistron still made this lead group though? It looks like maybe has fallen off. Nope, there he is. He's still in here riding for the Swedish team SZ in that Training Peaks. One of the 2 riders that are in that Training Peaks kit that we were chatting about actually up at the front of the race now. 34 races total. Solid, and we are seeing a 4th place actually in the SZR Evening Joyride. SZR sub 2.5. Oh, that's what the 89th was for. So actually, lots of solid results in the Evening Joyride though. And then he's mainly doing all SZR races and rides actually, which is pretty cool. Very committed to his team. We are seeing a little bit more chat here coming from, it looks like Mr. Hanazeder. I thought maybe we would see him hanging out in the race today. And teammate from Severe Coaching of Mr. Philip Diner, and he says, watching while drinking my tea and recovering from the flu. So sorry to hear that. Super jealous, actually. Keeping my fingers crossed for Philip. So he is out there looking to cheer on his fellow teammate, Philip Diner, who is currently leading the series in this 12-race SCR series. Your best 10 of 12, and he might take it with nothing but wins, as he's only got 1 or 2 losses, I believe, in the series so far. Brandon now getting ahead of the game here. They do climb up and out of Ocean Boulevard. Coop now 6.2 watts per kilogram. Ronsgaard 7.1. It looks like Little and Reinholm going at 9 watts per kilogram. All experimental toward the front. The BRT team is there. And we do have another chat here coming from Peter Campbell from, I believe Peter does also ride for the BRT, and cheering on his boys with some BRT boys in the mix 2 nights in a row for Cliven. And we'll see if he can pull it off. That was a solid effort yesterday from him in that sprint at the end there. They went off the front a little bit early. We're able to hold off the group actually all the way to the line. So Cliven definitely one to watch out for today, and on a flat course, able to win that sprint yesterday. I think you might be right there, Peter. Somebody really to watch out for today would be Mr. Cliven. Paul Mogsby Morris here saying, can you give a shout out? Yeah, we'll definitely give a shout out. Can you give a shout out to Valerie Lowe? She's going for it here in the kitchen. Everybody, let's find Valerie. Can we give me a, can we get a last name? We'll even find her on ZwiftPower.com. We'll do everything we can to get some hype around Valerie. I'm going to see if I can search. That's not showing up in the search bar for but I'm gonna look through here, and it looks like we do have Hole. It looks like Hole from Vision Cycling actually hammering away out there. One of the women. I do have V Low actually. I do see her out there, out on course, about 6:06 back from the leader. So as soon as we can grab her point of view, we will do so for you out on course actually. And she's hammering from the kitchen. We'll get a from the kitchen finish as soon as we can for you. So definitely shout out to Valerie. Kill it, Valerie. And looks like she's actually got a solid ride going on right now. Battling it out with Mayhoff and Alexieva actually out of Russia. So got looks like out of the UK there, Valerie Lowe, I believe that's who we're talking about there for the CRC, with the Danish rider V Mayhoff, and then Alexieva out of Russia there, right on her wheel, battling it out all the way, it looks like, into the final lap today. And Toledo is in here as well. Adam Toledo, always good to see you hanging out in the broadcast, saying howdy folks, ride on. Torpedo, somebody to watch out for over on Beam. Make sure to go ahead and check out. We are, just so you guys know, if you do not know, we now do have a website that you can go check out, ZwiftCommunityLive.com. ZwiftCommunityLive.com. Go ahead and search that out. If you're ever looking for all the different places that we are online, you can go right there and you can find our Beam channel. You can find our Twitch channel. You can find all of our YouTube VODs. All of the videos that we do here live are on demand on our YouTube. There are people chatting over at Beam right now, interacting with the stream. We've got people over at Twitch right now. We've got obviously live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And then we have all of our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those different places, all linked on our ZwiftCommunityLive.com, as well as the weekly schedule is always going to be placed up at ZwiftCommunityLive.com. We will be expanding things there to even be embedding more and more of the live streams at that place, so that you can check out any of the live streams and chats all in one place through that website. At least that's my goal. It's probably a little bit of news to somebody who's watching right now thinking, well, I didn't know we were going to do that. But yeah, I think that might be the best way to get all the chats interacting in one place maybe. So looking through here now, we can see that Casey Shum is looking fairly comfortable actually from Team Experimental, sitting in here for our Zwift on board. I don't know if the face doesn't, the face looks a little bit like annoyed almost, but looking comfortable with 160, 156 beats per minute there, but wants things to get going. I think he's chatting with his teammates and wondering, yeah, the tongues get stuck out there. And I think he's doing a double today with the run, but makes his way to the front. And that's probably just that things slow down. And I get that too when I'm in and amongst the pack, and like you just kind of want the action to take place all the time. And even though even though you're like, oh, this really hurts, and when you're going, when it's full on and you're going full on and it's the attacks are on, at least you know what's happening, you know, and you have an idea of how things are going down and where you stand amongst the other people and how it's playing out. And yeah, it might be frustrating if you're getting dropped, but sometimes when things kind of calm down, everyone starts holding hands, the cards start to get a little bit more random, and there's a little bit more dice rolls that can go into it, and it can get a little bit more, okay, things have calmed down, let's start making a plan. How much control can we actually exert, especially as a team, over this race still? So there's definitely some looks. If you ever watch the Racer Focus, that's something to watch out for. Watch out for the looks when things calm down and how people react to when things calm down. For those who are just holding on and are just like, I just want to make this group, I just want to make this group, I just want to make this group, that's actually, they're probably usually like, okay, good, everything calm down, we're good to go now. Just keep making the group. But the ones who are like, can we make the break? Can we break this thing apart? You know, and how are we going to tactically do this? The annoyance is a lot of times amongst that, and the like, all right, how do I figure this out, and how do I work with this tension of needing to drop more people? You can kind of see that in the expressions throughout the race, actually. And I've been noticing it a little bit more, having all the Zwift on board, being able to see the expressions and how people react to different situations out there on course, and even amongst the different categories too, the reactions to how things are going. I mean, some people, they just put on a penguin suit, and I don't know if you guys were here for that one Zwift on board, but I think, who was it? It was Tinsdale, wasn't it? Tinsdale put on a penguin suit in the middle of his Zwift on board cast, and that was his response to getting dropped out on course. Michael Powell is here saying, hi Nathan, great commentary as usual. Michael, good to see you hanging out in the broadcast over there at the Facebook. Always nice to have you here. And seeing you a lot, actually, over at a lot of the ZCL stuff. So, Michael Powell, consistent, longtime viewer here hanging out. Good to see you, buddy. Shum now toward the front. Looks like Team Experimental still keeping things under wraps. Looks like SZ is still here as well. I'm not sure that if they've been isolated just yet. We'll see if the helicopter can bring in a view a little bit closer. I think it's just going to hang out right here. What's interesting is that the views out on course... and there, okay, it is coming back in a little bit. So some of these helicopter views I'm not used to seeing. Out on the flat volcano circuit is one that I am not used to seeing at all, actually. So I don't even have a name for this section of the course. We'll just call this the Old Ruins. We're heading into the Old Ruins. On the dirt road. I need something better than that. I need something better than dirt road ruins area. This is exiting Middle Earth. I'm not even sure. So Legistron here from, I'm going to call that Middle Earth into the Italian, the old school Italian village versus the little new schooler into the fountain section. Not even sure. So into the climbing dirt road now. We do have Ledustrand here with Coop as well from the WBR. Kim Little at 8.3 watts per kilogram up toward the front with Ridholm now making an attack. This is the one place we have seen things really break apart now, and this is the final lap then, and this is going to be one of the final times to really be able to break things apart out on course here and try and get a gap. There will be one more time with the climb out of Ocean Boulevard, and actually being able to go in the reverse direction on a flat. I haven't actually commentated on a flat reverse in a really long time, and that climb out of Ocean Boulevard is extremely interesting because it's a kick at 3% grade, and if you kick hard enough, you can get a gap, but you got to hold on a flat for like a K, or maybe even a little less than a K. But I mean, that is, who's done a 1 kilometer everything you got? That is one of the hardest races, hardest efforts you could ever do in your entire life. Any trackie who has done a 1K will tell you it is the hands down hardest thing that you can possibly do. And if you get a gap and you are solo off the front out of Ocean Boulevard, good luck, because you can do it, but it is going to be one of the hardest things that you have ever done. And these boys climbing out of Ocean Boulevard, it's like this setup. There's one gradient left for you. Can you do the 1K to the line? Oh, we'll see what's going to happen. And we do see Michael Powell saying that he is going to be on the KISS race tomorrow night. Michael Powell will make sure to give you a shout out and get some coverage going for you out there. Z Community Live latest patch. Oh, so we've got a little bit of something here coming from Team Experimental here. Saying at Z Community Live, latest splash screen is out of the world. Watch Casey Sam accelerate. Team Experimental and at Vision Cycling. Thanks a lot for the shout out there from Team Experimental. I really appreciate you guys and all your support, and good luck to your racers as they're coming into the last few K here. The total for race distance today on the on this sixth race in the SZR series is going to be 37.5. So they still got about 5K to go underneath Ocean Boulevard through the old Jarvis tree, and then they will be exiting the Ocean Boulevard on that climb, and we'll see if anybody's going to give it a go. I think with all the teammates, we are going to see some tactics here as they head in toward the old monument here and into the marina and back over toward the windmills. I have a feeling it's going to stay Grupo Compacto. As we can see the riders, they're all bunched up together. We do have, it looks like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about 15, maybe 16 riders, 15, 16 riders here in the front group right now. Petite here at the back, riding for that French team, actually. Sole French team rider here, Melty-Man from KRT, also solo amongst these boys and girls here. Nassen from FSK now, out of Norway. Looks like BRT here with E. Vandenberg actually as well. Does that actually make it 3 BRT boys? I'm sorry, I think I said there was only 2, but I see Cliven, I see E. Vandenberg, and then Comerick at the front here as well. So it's Team Experimental with 3, BRT with 3. And so looking at the past results for these front runners, the BRT boys have some solid results as well in the past few days here. Let's go ahead and click on the live tab and see what we can get for an update here. Blomqvist now second place, Sullivan, Thomason, Algard, Van Dijk, and these are all B boys that I'm getting here. Cliven though, looking from the BRT team with Cliven, that win yesterday, also a win in the KISS 100s Americas race. Actually, I raced that race, I believe. Oh no, that was the Americas, excuse me, back on the 5th. So 2 wins. The last 2 races that Cliven has done, he has won. This is a rider to watch out for sure right now. He kicks up into, let's see here, his 1 minute power 5:08. Pretty killer there, weighing at 65 kilograms. So definitely a killer amount of power there. 2 minutes 4:35 there, and can do about 3:09 for 20 minutes. So some serious kicks, about 4.52 watts per kilogram that he threw down for that KISS Europe yesterday. So let's see if he can repeat right now. It looks like we are waiting for a little bit of an update from ZwiftPower.com as it is showing. I think it's gotten a little bit confused about where riders are at out on course right now. Maybe just where the watchers are located on a new course that we haven't seen a whole lot of. Comrec now up toward the front here, 2.9. Everybody's kind of holding hands. No attacks have gone through this section of the course. I think that it's definitely just been Grupo Compacto at this point. We do see Nassen bumping in that 5 watts per kilogram, just trying to hang on there, maybe work his way to the front and reserve some energy. If you drop to 0 like you saw him do there, you do go backwards pretty quickly. Ridholm now. Things are starting to get spread out now. Legistron now from that SZ team, maybe being told to go off the front and make a little bit of an attack and try and loosen up the legs prior to that climb we were talking about. Troyer now from Germany here. trying to stay with the wheel. Kim Little following and hanging right onto the wheel. They are locked on like lasers to Legistron, who just keeps on keeping on at the front at 6.7 watts per kilogram on this flatter section. Of course, so incredibly difficult to break it apart now. Coonskin now 4.5. Lindroth in here as well. Rider we haven't spoken about a lot. Maybe one to watch out for in that army looking kit actually. Kim Little easily following. Gray here as well. Looks like these boys, 181 though, coming from Shore, who was the one that would close it down to Legistron. Legistron tried breaking things apart a little bit, didn't really go much of anywhere. The Training Peaks kits now, where is Ronsgard? That's my question. From the BRT on the back here. Cliven now just sitting in the back too, 164. Maybe looking for the slingshot. And here we go, boys and girls. It's about to ramp up out of Ocean Boulevard into the final K or so. And Michael Powell is saying Team TFC new power meter in race today. Casey Shum is saying interesting. All right, so Casey Shum with the new power meter, is it going to give him a new result? Well, it's going to be a new result either way, as every result that's new is new. But Melty Man here now from the KRT team. Here comes Ronsgard, 9.8, boys and girls, being told to go by the BRT team. Now the question is, when you kick this hard, can you continue over the top now? Nawson 10.0 watts per kilogram. It looks like Team Experimental able to follow. Casey Shum right on that wheel with Kim Little following right along. Kim Little coming right over the top of Shum. Can he hang on? It looks like Shum, Little, Komarek, BRT, Coop is in there as well. Cliven has made it. It looks like they're all here. Ridholm, though, looks like Conville now falling off the pace. Shore as well. Gray just barely hanging on. Looks like these boys are making their way backwards, though. And now things, are they going to settle down at the front? If they don't settle down at the front, they may be able to still drop a few of these off who are, because here's the thing, they might make the group initially, but as the speed continues to stay high, if they don't continue to move their way forward, they're not going to get the position needed in order to make the sprint. And so that's always the thing in road racing and crit racing, that you might make the group and make the group and make the group, but making the group is a very different thing than making the front of the group for the sprint. It looks like nobody was able to get off the front though for that 1K all out. What do you got? Lindroth now is in 5.0 watts per kilogram, 186 beats per minute with a little bit of a gap. Nobody has his wheel, and now he's kicking with a gap over Little, but here comes Little and Shum, 12 watts per kilogram coming from Mr. Kim Little. It looks like Little might be able to pull this one off. Looking over his shoulder here, out of the saddle. Team Experimental absolutely killing it. Nawson is coming, but it looks like it's going to be Little, but here comes Cliven. Cliven at the last second, but not going to happen. It will be Cliven then for second, Nawson for third, followed, I believe, by Ridholm, and then Shum for fifth. Solid race all around from those boys. Coop will be going up in the overalls, though, I believe, after that result. Green now just making his way across the line with Pettit here as well. Green, I think, having one lap to go on the Volcano Flat course. We do not want to click on anybody that is not a part. We don't want to click on Nathan's avatar first and foremost and get stuck in the event in the pier at the start of the event. I-338 here with Hoppy Marita trying to get away now. It looks like 338 now making his way to the line for that Swedish team. Larson there as well with Stenbrendan here out of Norway. Roberts is there. Hope there too. Hoppy Marita now has fallen off pace from the front of that group. Solid ride now. No education today. It's nice coming from as these riders make their way to the line. We'll get this educating Nathan Guerra real quick in just a second. So 338 able to hold off Larson, but Larson, and it looks like Stenbrenner going to be battling it out to the line. Stenbrenner with a little bit of a kick, but I think I'm not sure. Stenbrenner got him. Then it was Roberts followed by Larson. Runberg now just coming across the line followed by Kolkloff. Looks like Larson then took the win from Kolkloff, who's usually been winning these races actually in the B category, but not today, boys and girls. Looks like it will be Larson, I believe, who got the better of Kolkloff. A little bit of educating Nathan Guerra as we wait for some more riders to make their way to the line here. And nice lava shot there. I love your work. Thanks a lot there, educating Nathan Guerra. Always appreciated. Michael Powell saying these boys are strong. Big bunch kick coming from Peter Campbell there as well. Your BRT boys almost pull it off, but Kim Little almost unstoppable lately, it seems like. And now here we go with Henderson from, it looks like, the US of A, followed by the Viking Thomason. Ooh. Seelan might have just barely nipped it at the line for that third place position in the B category. We'll have to wait for SwiftPower.com to give us an idea of exactly where things finished up there. Looking through, as far as the results go, not quite. What's showing me that Cliven actually. Oh, I have a feeling why that's showing. Here we go. So, Kim Little, followed by Cliven, and then Nosen, and then Casey Shum, and then Ridholm. That was the finishing order. Kim Little, first place. Cliven for second for that Bolt Racing team, and then FSK for Nosen out of Norway there. Casey Shum, Team Experimental as well for fourth. Ridholm for fifth, and then again, sixth place, top 3 out of 6. Solid ride there for Team Experimental. We got to turn around here out on course and see if we can find any more of the racers. We do have, it looks like, Odegaard here in the B category. Somebody just threw down 25 watts per kilogram. I don't know if that's real life or what's happening here. But now in the B category, it was Larson. Solid ride for him, right on the edge at 4.0. Kolkloff has been putting out 4.8 watts per kilogram and needs an upgrade, it looks like, in the series. As he is winning the series, but he's doing it with 4.8 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race. In the B category, Martin Seelan then as well. Get an upgrade. Barron, get an upgrade. Harvin Thomason, no upgrade. Vikings team, nice job in that B category. Blomqvist, solid job to Blomqvist, who is a part of we are looking at his avatar here, and Blomqvist, I believe, a part of the series. Let's go ahead and head on over to the B's here. Yep, second place overall. And maybe taking up the first place overall, as Koploff needs an upgrade, it looks like, for the series. In the C category, S. Winter, is that how it's going to play out? No, Krister Selstead, excuse me, Christian Carlson, and then Hakengrass for third place in that C category. And there he is, Hakengrass, right now, just cooling down here with that cork kit on. Barbera is here as well. Good to see Rick out on course. Moving back, we do have Van Dijk here coming from the Netherlands, just crossing the line ahead of, looks like Iceland here, John Arnar, followed by Wickholm and then Coughlin. Floridian then is there as well. A huge battle, a huge group now making their way to the line, as you can see here. Who's going to go first? And now we see the ramp up, the BRT team here with Jaros, actually, no, excuse me, the Poland team actually, with a BRT rider right next to him, Makliad. Now it looks like the man out of Poland has 8 watts per kilogram to give and is going to get the better of the rest of them in that in-Gamba kit. Followed closely by Makliad, I believe just barely nipped. Oh no, a few others might have nipped him at the line. Looks like Sylvan maybe just pulling that off. We'll have to wait for the official results from SwiftPower.com. Lots of riders in that C category are just crossing the line, it looks like. We'll see if we can find Valerie. We were asking, there was a request specifically for us to cover the battle here amongst the women's race. And Valerie was out there hammering away from the kitchen. So we'll see if we can find her out on course. You can even give us a little help, an idea of where she's at. And we might be able to find her and do a little bit of shoutcasting on exactly how she's going to finish up her race today. And we are seeing Made My Legs Scream just watching, Brian Horton says. No carb pop coming from Rick Barbera. And I've been there, Rick. I know how it goes. I've been there. And M. Sen here now, 4.7 watts become 165 beats per minute with L. Watts here, trying to get back on terms with some watts, but it doesn't look like it's going to be working out. No matter how many watts are his name, he's got to put them out from his legs. As Druva here now throws it down, but it's going to be Sundstrom out of Sweden with a kick to the line, 178 beats per minute, followed by Leijhagen and Druva. Next one across the line, L. Watts was caught. Didn't have the watts to get to the line, boys and girls. Jelum from Team Chuck. And it looks like Alquist now going to be crossing the line with, it looks like A. Beck now. Solid ride for A. Beck there, just crossing the line. And A. Beck from Swedish from that SZ team, actually. Looking through here, is she the first female to be crossing the line? I believe so. Yep, first woman across the line. Nice job to A. Beck. I'm going to take a look here and see Anna Beck. Lots of results, actually. Coming out of Sweden. And looks like she's recently maybe got an upgrade to the B category. And in and amongst the women's races, looks like Anna had three races in, but just took a first place amongst the women here. We'll see if she can grab any points for that result here for the series. The next women to be crossing the line, then I think we're going to start seeing a few of them strolling in here. We'll see if we can find any. We do have Kids here breaking his way to the line. Nice sprint ahead of Crawford and then Mitchell. Next one across the line there. See, he's not a part of the race. We'll keep on moving backwards here and see if we can find, it looks like Mac D with Di Martino as well as Harris now batting it to the line. It looks like Harris 4.5 watts per kilogram might be able to catch Mac D, who's only got 3.5. There's another kick, and it looks like Mac D is going to be suffering with 172. He's got nothing less. Looks like it's Jello to the line for the legs, and Harris going to get the kick ahead with Martino, and then Mac D next one to cross the line. Oswald is not a part of this race, and so keep on moving backwards. Now we do have Bu as well as JPKW watts per kilowatt. And telling us something. He's trying to communicate something. JPK there, watts per kilogram. To the line. Nice job. We're getting a little bit of lag here within the network, it looked like, for a second there. Sorry about that, everybody. Bergmark here out of Sweden now hammering away, it looks like, with Russell and then Worm. Nice battle to the line here between these boys. Looks like Russell 5.2 watts per kilogram holds 407 watts, but it looks like Harn has 8 watts per kilogram to give in that Trek kit, doing his challenge. And then Russell here just going to cross the line behind him. Not quite near the line. Battle there right to the line, though, from... it looks like, was that Blom, actually? The next woman across the line, it looks like, followed by Shipley and then Esker Blom. Boyd is in there as well. Just about to cross the line with Heine Koski. And I believe Nash Williams is not a part of this race, but is helping us out here to see what's going on amongst the rest of the riders. Going to keep on moving down here and see what we can figure out. We do have Jay Thompson, I think, just about to cross the line, or did just cross the line, with M. Blom was in there as well. Amongst the women, A. Graham there as well. Agamo is out on course. We'll see how she's going to end up finishing up. Looks like Graham is picking off riders one by one out on course amongst the women. So keep on moving back here, see if we can see any of their finishes and any of their battles to the line. All right, here we go with P. Beck and B.L. Gray. Battling it out. Looks like Gray not going to be able to catch him. S. Ba there as well. Now a huge group of riders. I think the first D rider coming out of Spain here. Now with one last little kick. B. Salmon is in there as well with Jarland out of Denmark trying to catch back onto that wheel. Everybody's starting to really kick up those watts to the line here. Is Jarland now 7.2 watts per kilogram. Might just barely nip him at the line. Just went just a little too early to try and grab that win in the sprint. Rydberg now here hammering away with Leisha. We do have a Zwift insider here. Somebody who works at Zwift hammering away. Tom H. actually. Going to the line, 8.7 watts per kilogram. MC Neo here. Neo there. It looks like Graham not able to pull it off ahead of Tom. Tom just barely nips him at the line there. We do have Jorgensen now trying to get Brennan, not able to do so, it looks like, as Brennan crossed the line in that D category. And Armheim giving us a little clap there. Appreciate it, buddy. Over at the face of the book. It doesn't actually come through, though. It just comes through as a phone. Okay, it looks like we're trying to find the rest of the riders out on course here. We are moving our way backwards, continually looking for the rest who are bringing it in toward the finish line. Houghton here with Cooler, and it looks like Klessen and Schneider now just about to cross the line. Engmo, the rider we were looking for, coming from the PTZ. For the women, battling it out with RT. Actually, this is a battle within the women's race. Who's going to kick? Looks like RT's hanging on the wheel. 176, though. She's got to go now. And 157, I think Ingmo's got the kick left in the legs. Not going to be able to catch Schneider, but it looks like, oh, and right at the line, RT got a kick. And it looks like just barely is unable to pull it off. And it looks like Ingmo, amongst the women, will grab that last spot, that next spot out on course. E-Page now making his way to the line in the SZR series, just going to stroll across at 153 beats per minute. Moving back now, we're going to keep on trying to find the rest of the racers with the tools that we have to find them. We did say Ingmo. Now, just coming across the line just a moment ago, I do see a few, there's a lot more riders to come, it looks like, boys and girls. There were 267 that did start the race. I believe we will go all the way back to 256. We've had the top 180 or so finish, so maybe a little more than that. We do have, it looks like, T-Boyne Frankenheim here from the KISS Racing team just crossing the line. Nice job to her. Out there on course somewhere in the top 10 for the women, and I think maybe winning the women's category for the Ds. I'll have to take a look and see through here. Amongst the D category, I think she was the first woman across the line, so solid job to her. Looking through her race results here, she's got 46 races actually out on course. Took a fourth in the last one she did with the Great Watopia Mountain Goat Race, actually. So solid races for her recently, it looks like. Nice job to Frankenheim there. As back here, Shepard, it looks like, making his way to the line, trying to get Chaka, but not going to do so in that D category race. Almost, but not quite to the line. The Plum Tree is out there, starting to ride 11K in. Looks like El Curry now battling it out to the line with Durrani. Not a part of a race, but you're always kind of fighting to the line there, I think, out on course. Whenever there's a line, you're trying to get to it first, I think, a lot of times. Jackson is 130K in. Long ride going for Jackson there out on a TT bike. Brett Elder looks like just logging back in. We do have D. Atwood here in the D category race, followed by E. Boyd, and then Schmatz, Kavanagh, and Gustafsson here making their way to the line. Looks like Boyd's going to give one last kick and get the better of Atwood. Right at the line, taking second place is Atwood, then Schmatz, followed by Kavanagh out of the UK. Gustafsson's bike is confused and thinks it wants to go back to the pier and start it all over again, but we'll be heading right to the line there with the Polish rider Kikaj making his way to the line. Kikaj, I believe, maybe not. We'll have to see. Nice job, Diane Baker. Good to see you as usual in the race commentary. Always good to see you hanging out. Tom H. from Zwift is just hanging out on the side of the road after dying in a sprint, it looks like. Solid job for him. Looks like M. East here. Michelle East, always good to see her for the Bolt Racing team out on course, making her way to the line. A solid ride for her. We'll give her a ride on in the D category. And Jake Vanderwoo as well as S. Peterson. So we still have, I think, a few more riders to make their way to the line. We'll keep on moving backwards here. We do have Aeneas here as well as Costella, Benson, and V. Low. Valerie, we've been looking for her all day, and now the battle to the line with the Russian Alexieva. We were talking about this earlier. Will she be able to hold her off from the kitchen, boys and girls? The rider on the Specialized bike hammering away in that Rafa. I believe that's a Rafa kid here out on course. Alexieva's just sitting on her wheel for the CRC, 170 beats per minute. Got to hold on the Rue rider's wheel up ahead. Where's the kick? Will the Russian come around? But she's dropped her off by 1 second to the line. Looks like Valerie was able to hold it off. It looks like Alexieva just went a little bit late there. Though, and Valerie got to throw it down from the kitchen. Keep it all down in the kitchen, as I have a feeling they're at 176 plus beats per minute. It might be kind of hard right now trying to hold off that Russian hanging on the wheel there, but it looks like she was able to do so. Nice job to Valerie out on course. R. Dawson now, it looks like, with G. Bruno, not a part of the race, so it doesn't matter. Looking through here, we still have quite a few to finish. All the way back, we've got, I think, about 50 plus more coming to the line here. Sandgren now with Emmanuel. Mayhoff as well out of Denmark, going to get the better of him. But this is the battle here with Sandgren and Emmanuel. And Will Sandgren, and gets nipped right at the line. No kick coming from Sandgren. Right onto her, though, as she's the next woman to cross the line out there today. Jay Turner now just about to cross the line here, coming out of Great Britain. Give him a ride on. Gotten double ride-ons for Mr. Turner there, it looks like. Johansson now just rounding this last corner out of Sweden. 1.8 per kilogram in that D category. Solid ride for Johansson. 145 beats per minute currently. And Nick, thanks a lot for the shout out over at Twitter for @Z Community Live. Really appreciate you jumping in. Saying, loving the commentary, Nathan. Would be good to show the Zwift Power results somehow in the stream. Nick, we'll see if we can bring in a browser source. We've done it in the past. We just we want to figure out a way to make it look really nice. And currently the browser source is very white. And so... and also the way to like blow that up on screen. If there's a way that maybe we can get the some sort of Excel-like file from it, auto-generated, that then could like populate into a graphic for us auto. I have a feeling that something like that might exist and bring into the broadcast. So good feedback there, Nick, and we'll see if we can work on making that happen. For the results. That would be actually awesome, so you guys can see actually what I'm talking about. Because what I could do, I mean, I can actually, I'll show you guys what I can do. I'll just show you right now. We can go ahead and add. Let's go ahead and do. I can do. Hopefully without showing you guys too much. Yeah, we can do this real quick here. So, I'll go ahead and do a results with you guys here real quick, as long as we don't screw things up too much. Let's see what happens here when I do this. No, that didn't do what I thought it would. I'm going to see if I might be able to bring something in for you guys here. We'll see what I can do. Display 1. Here we go. There it is. Okay, yep. So we got display 1. And then I'll have to put that into somewhere else. Here, we'll do a little experiment here real quick, guys. Just be patient with me. We are waiting for a few more riders to come to the line here. It looks like we just had G. Destin here. Solid ride for her out of Denmark. Making her way to the line and finishing it up somewhere within the top 20 for the women. We'll get a nice little shot here of these boys and girls all out on course up near the pier. Let's go ahead and create a new virtual set. And we're going to do this just for you, Nick, if you're out there still. Just for Nick, boys and girls. Multi-view. And let's go ahead and add, what is this? Which one can we add? Start Studio. We'll add the Start Studio to here. And that will be... there we go. And then... oh, not that one. That is not what we're looking for. There we go. Okay, so we got the Start Studio. And then we are going to throw in the new desktop capture. And then we're going to make that small. And see, that's not going to work. Well, maybe it will work. So we'll go like this. We'll pan it over. And then we'll pan it down. And then we'll zoom it just a little bit more. Alright, so here we go, boys and girls. I think we got it. I think we got what you're asking for. and we can make it awesome. Oh, nope, not that. Zoom a little bit more. Okay, I know I'm just talking at you guys right now, but I want to show you what we can do. So here we go. This is what you had asked for. We got it just for you. Oh, hey, let's we actually have to crop it and then move it over here. And then move it up. Alright, here we go. We've got results. We've got results, boys and girls, just like you'd asked. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be very awesome. Alright. Pan it over. Zoom it in. Pan it over. Alright, this is a rough draft of it. This is going to be a rough draft of it. This is definitely not the kind of quality that I would usually want as far as broadcasting goes, but this is something that we can do, and we'll try and bring in for you guys. So it's going to be covering me a little bit because I want to quit messing around with it. But, I mean, here we go. We do have Kim Little here at the front, at the top, with Nigel Ivan Cliven with Johan Noreker for the top 1, 2, 3 in the A category. You can move on down. You can see for the Bs we do have Bjorn Larson, followed by Martin Seeland, and then Baron Mendelsohn for the top in the B category. In the C category, then, we do have, it looks like, Christer Selstead, followed by Christian Carlson, and then Hakan Gras for third place. I think there were a few upgrades there for those boys. In the D category, then, we will be having, it looks like, Andrew Kinglake, followed by Jose Roldan, and then Javier Just for the D category. Amongst the women, looks like first place, I believe we did catch first place coming across the line with Anna Beck, followed by Camila Bachman, and then need to register, Camila, if you can. It'd be awesome to have you register over at ZwiftPower.com. And then it looks like Madeline Blom just nipping at the line, Janine Thompson. A shout out to the kitchen, though, for Valerie out there, out on course. So a little rough draft of what we can do with the results. We'll see if we can up the quality there for you boys and girls as fast as possible. So that is going to be it for the SZR race number 6. We're halfway done with the series, boys and girls. 6 more to go. And it looks like, actually, let's take a little look at this. Where did Philip finish? What? Where's Diner? I didn't talk about this at all. Did Diner have a dropout? What happened with Philip Diner? Did he have a DQ? Like, what happened with Diner? And it looks like Adrian actually started this race as well. Where is Philip Diner? P. Diner. 16 minutes back. Must have had a dropout. Quit or something happened. I don't think he quit. 26 in is the last time I seen him. So we'll have to see what happened there. BJ Alfonso says, hi, Nathan. Nathan, your production manager is freaking out that it won't look tidy when you show ZP results. Ping is a message when you choose to race. Would love to look out for you. There is a ladies only race this weekend, 4 laps, London Classic. Diane, thanks a lot for hanging out here. And good to see you, and hope you do try out a race. We'll definitely give you a shout out if you do jump in to any of the races. Now I want to show you guys as far as the production manager freaking out because of the way that we grabbed that browser source, and this is why we have to do it a different way, is because if I happen to be doing something else, we just start getting Inception. We just started getting Inception from the face of the book, and all different things start happening when I try and use the wrong sources to add in there. So my production manager is most likely freaking out right now. So, all right, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. That was lots of fun. Congratulations to all the riders, and we'll be back a little later for Mr. Casey Shum's run out on Zwift. He's gonna be doing that volcano loop. Here's a little promo coming from Team Experimento, I believe, threw us a little image for that coming up later today. There it is. So join them today. Boys and girls, there's the times for it. You can also always find the times for all of our broadcasts at ZwiftCommunityLive.com. As always, everybody, great race and ride on.